So this is the new Overwatch 2 Wrath of the Bride PvE event that is playable right now with the new Halloween Terror 2022. So in this video, what I'm going to do is review this because I have been waiting to taste the new PvE stuff for Overwatch 2 for a long time. I actually played Overwatch 2's PvE back in 2019. I was among some of the first people in the world outside of Blizzard to actually play the game back at BlizzCon. And I want to see how it's evolved because this should be a pretty hefty evolution of that format. Now, the thing I want to say straight away at the top of this video is I actually really enjoyed this. Now, I think it's really cool. It's a very short PvE mission. It's not very long. I think this takes maybe 13 minutes. This is on the easiest difficulty, though, and I know I'm talking over a lot of the stuff which is happening in the background, but I obviously implore you guys to go out there and just go and play it and experience the story because it's kind of minimal. It's not a lot to take on board, but it's cute. It's fun. It's Overwatch. It's interactions between the heroes. They're leaning on a lot of that, and I think that's cool. Now, the first thing that struck me is you may have noticed that I've got the... is this the Cyber Sleuth skin for Sojourn? I don't have this skin. Also, everyone in the game has also got the skin which is relevant to the event on. Now, this is kind of clever because Blizzard are like, hey, you know that Kiriko skin, which is going to cost you $25 if you want to buy it because that's how much it is in the store? Guess what? You can go and play this mode, and if you pick Kiriko, you can kind of check the skin out and see how it plays. And then maybe you're like, you know what? I'm going to pick that skin up. So it is kind of clever they're doing that. They give you a little bit of a teaser, a little bit of a taste of it. Now, as for this event, what makes this different to the Junkenstien's Revenge of old is you use the whole map. You can already see that we started off sort of here where we are at the moment, then we went back to the first attacker spawn into the pub. Now we're working forward, and what is really cool about this is these various little objectives that you have to kind of complete. And again, it's not complicated, although you will see our Junker Queen in this game get very confused as to what to do, which is kind of funny. So basically we've got to unlock this gate, so we need to find the key, and at every sort of mini area, mini stage of the level, there's a boss, and the first boss is it's the Banshee, and it's really cool how they introduce them. It's so cool. Like, this is the thing about Overwatch that I really love. Like, it's only Overwatch can do this because they've got the depth of characters to do it, and it's really cool. So yeah, this is the Banshee, and it comes in, and it's Moira, just absolutely souped up, obviously. Because it's on the easier mode, it's not as difficult. But what I will say is I've ran through this on hard, and it genuinely was hard, and hard difficulty is the next difficulty up from this. So there's actually 2 more other difficulties, and I think they're going to be really difficult. You really do need to prioritize your damage. And of course, if you use ping, that can be very powerful, especially when you get to the moments where there's like 2 bosses at the same time. So we've got the key here, and this is where things get funny. So can you see the blue outline on Junker Queen? That means she has got the key. Now, if you look at the UI in the bottom left, you can also see a key icon. She has the key. She can open the door. But our Junker Queen's a little bit confused, and she's like, I don't know what I should be doing. So we're all looking at the Junker Queen like, what's going on? And then I start firing my weapon. Like, everyone's like, yeah, at the door. Shoot the Junker Queen, then shoot the door. Hello, Junker Queen, hello. So this is kind of fun. Now, the other thing as well, which Blizzard really need to fix in this mode, because at the moment this is kind of broke, is when everybody dies, you get a chance to go again. But the game doesn't tell you. So everybody dies and then just leaves the game. So on my first run through hard, we all died on the Summoner and Gargoyle boss. And everyone left. But I almost left. I just sat back in my chair like, oh, it's all over. And then it went, oh, 2 more chances remaining. I respawned, but the rest of my team had left. So Blizzard, you need to tell people that you're going to respawn them. So this is the next section. On the castle phase, you get the gargoyles. Now, these randomly spawn. It's the Winston model, Winston Gargoyle. And it's basically, again, just a souped-up Winston. Now, what you really have to look out for, though, in this mode is it's not like the old Junkenstien mode where it was like hordes and hordes of enemies and it was a massive shooting gallery. This is very much the set objectives that you need to complete. And you see the damage I just took there off one of the suicide Zomnics? Came up to me and exploded and almost killed me. If that's in harder difficulties, you just straight up die to that. It is like, wow, I've been killed. So you need to be aware all the time of where stuff is coming from. And honestly, I've got to take my hat off to Blizzard for this. They haven't made this stupidly easy. I mean, this is the easy mode, and sure, if those rip tires exploded on me, it probably would have been bad news, but I'm Sojourn and I can jump out of the way. But look, I'm still low and I actually get knocked down. So it's not like this is, just easy. You're just going to walk through it. You still need to actually play the game, right? So it's not that easy. And I think this is something which could be actually a bit of a positive for Overwatch in the future. If its difficulty is such where it's actually going to take a lot of effort to complete modes on harder difficulties, and I think that's going to work really well for the game because it's going to give you a bit of replayability. It's not just going to be, yeah, you walk through it. Remember I said at the top of this video when I went to BlizzCon in 2019 and I played through the Rio mission with Null Sector in it, and it was cool, but after like 2 or 3, 4, maybe 5 goes, we'd completed it on the hardest difficulties, and it wasn't really like, all the harder difficulties did was just increase the stats of the enemies, which is like, and it was kind of not great, and it wasn't really long enough. And this, though, I think is probably even shorter than those missions, but it's just an event mission, so this isn't something where I'm going to take that as a negative in this example, but it's really cool. Like, so in this phase here, we're breaking into the dungeons now to get into the castle, and there's little interactable objects. We need to find the hidden one. Yeah, it's not difficult. Like, beyond no illusions, this isn't like, oh wow, it's some insanely difficult puzzle Blizzard have built. It's not, but it's just a fun, different way of playing Overwatch. This, though, is really cool. This is really cool. So you basically get ported to the section, this special section of the map, and you need to kill these echoes, and they randomly spawn, and it's really cool. Everyone in the team spawns in front of one, so it's like a bit of a jump scare. Really cool touch. And again, I love this stuff, like, because this shows you when Blizzard are starting to just go wild. Like, the thing is, it's always been this has always been the case with Overwatch. The devs are great. The devs always generally make really good decisions, and when it comes to new characters, new things like, you know, the lore design and all of that stuff, they always nail it. So I think they're actually going to be let loose when PvE drops, because this you know, this was like cool. This is making me smile as I'm playing through it. So again, good job on this, Blizzard. It's not, you know, this is a lot more interactive than the old Junkensteins. I think that's the best way of putting it. And it's probably just because they've got these systems that they can use now, which they didn't have maybe before in Overwatch 1. And we know Overwatch 2 is meant to be this PvE experience when it eventually launches. Anyway, so you complete that and it teleports you back here. Then you start moving into the castle. But it's really cool. Like, each bit of this mission is different. Now, of course, this is the area where Junkenstein's Revenge takes place in the past. And, you know, I still think that's a fun event. It is fun just having a massive horde mode and just being able to destroy like hundreds and hundreds of Zomnics. That's really cool. This isn't that. This is very much a mission, and you have to do little objectives at each point. It's not a horde mode, which, you know, you maybe could say is a bit of a negative. But I don't know, horses for courses, right? I found this quite fun. So yeah, this phase here, this is actually really hard on the other difficulties because the Winston is absolutely annoying as hell. Like, you see he's chasing me off, but I'm not taking too much damage from him. I think the thing to do here is to just do what I did, is basically ping the summoner, and everyone tries to kill the summoner and just go for it. She is annoying with that shield, though, because if Bob's been used by Ash, then obviously you're not going to hit the Symmetra through the shield, are you? But yeah, again, like, the thing is that I luckily got out of the way of those Zomnics that were going to explode, because they would have killed me again. Like, they are deadly. You have to be aware of them, and it's hard. Like, if you're playing one of the DPS characters, you need to actually kill the bosses. You can't just be, I don't know, ignoring them. You're going to die. This, though, now again is really cool. So I like the integration of abilities that characters already have to complete certain objectives. So I know I'm talking all over it again, and I apologize for that, but basically what they're saying to each other is we need to get through the door. And Ash goes, you know what, I'll blow this up with my dynamite. So watch what Ash does now. Literally throws a dynamite, shoots it, and it blows the door up. I really like that. It's really, really cool. It's really, really cool. So this is actually, I am impressed with this, and I think it is fun. It's definitely a lot better than I expected, and it's, I wish it was a little bit longer maybe, but we haven't quite got to the end of it yet. Now we get introduced to another boss that you can't actually kill. Although we tried to kill him, but you can't. This is the Unstoppable Ghost, and it's Sigma. It's the Haunted Captain Sigma skin, or is it Sunken Captain? But you can't kill him. But he's got this area of effect which will do a ton of damage if you go near him. And again, in the harder difficulties, he will just kill you. Like here, I'd be dead. If I did that in the harder difficulties, I would be dead. But because this is on easy mode, I was able to get away. But I think the thing to do here is to just, everybody's got to run away in a different direction. Don't stack up, because he's just gonna, yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be bad. When we go through here, you'll notice that the bonfire has changed. It's now a little bit of a lantern. Of course, that was an Easter egg for Dark Souls, because obviously you went back to a bonfire in Dark Souls, or that's where you saved your game and leveled up. I think Ash might die through here. And again, this is nice work here, because the map isn't any bigger. It's still the same Iconvold, but the way they've sectioned the castle off makes it appear bigger, because we're like running around the back of the point here now. It's really cool, and I think they've done a really good job. Oh, yeah, so here, for some reason on this one, you can actually damage this boss, the experiment, in this mode. So we've half killed him before he spawns. Like that, you can't do that to the other bosses. So I don't know what the hell is going on there. And also, when the game freezes or slows down time, it becomes a lot more sensitive. Your aim does. It's weird. I think it did that before, though, in Overwatch 1. Yeah, you see how Ash has died there. It's because she went straight through the door and got exploded on by a load of zombies. You have to be careful. This room's pretty cool as well. Cute little dog. Again, a little bit of lore stuff going on, and you can see how, well, the bride has absolutely lost her mind. Because, of course, she was a creation of Junkenstien, because that's what he was making in the old Junkenstein's Revenges. And the bride has gone ahead and captured the Lord, who is Reinhardt, of the castle. Now, this is where you go to the final phase now. So you've got this bits of lore stuff here. You can have a nice little look around, a bit of an investigation. It's cool. Obviously, when people play through this, they just rush to objective, so it's difficult to just stand around looking at stuff. Obviously, if you've got a group of 3 friends that can play with you, then sure, you can do that. Also, I think our Junker Queen had a little bit of difficulty with actually holding down F to open the look. She kept running off to go and engage the stuff. But basically, all she's doing here is opening this door, and this takes you to the final point on Iconvold, where Baldric usually sits on the throne. But this time, it's not a throne, it's the sort of the doctor's bed, Junkenstein's sort of operating table, and it's got Reinhardt on it, which you don't actually see. And also, you don't see Roadhog in this as well. I thought they might have reused that, but I guess they decided not to. So yeah, this is the boss fight. Now, this isn't as simple as it looks. It is in easy mode, because all you do is attack the Sombra. So what she does is she teleports around the room and appears at various switches on the wall. And if you let her pull one of the switches, it will cause damage to the Lord. And if the Lord dies, then you lose. So you need to, wherever she spawns, you need to just pile damage into her straight away and take her out. If you don't, she's going to pull the switch, and then after she pulls a couple of them, Reinhardt's dead, and then you lose because the Lord's dead. Or she might just kill you as well, because she does hack you. See her there? She's on the switch, she's pulling away, we're trying to do damage to her. We do enough damage, so she teleports away. But if we didn't do enough damage, then she would have damaged the Lord. I don't think the Lord's taken any damage. I don't think he did, because I'm sure I got an achievement for this after we finished for not taking damage. Which is the other thing. So you get challenges that you can complete in this, which do give you various free rewards. I think you need to complete 13 of them. And then you get the weapon charm, which is basically the high tier free reward, I guess. But yeah, this is the boss fight. So yeah, it's fine. You'll notice as well, like, various other bosses spawn in this. So you get the Bastion is back. A bunch of Riptides come back through. Like, I'm taking quite a bit of damage as well. Like I said, it isn't no easy just go into the mode in story mode and you'll win. You still actually need to play the game, which I think is cool. I'm pretty sure I get caught as well on the roof here. Yeah, so my team did enough damage to her there. She disappeared. The ghost is back, so obviously you don't want to get near that, which is cool. But I quite like this, the way it brings back the old bosses. I think it's cool. I think this is cool. Honestly, I'm not like, obviously, yeah, there, I got caught on that. I need to fix that, because I guess I could probably just sit up there. It's probably actually a good idea, because I don't think there's many ranged enemies. Yeah, but what I was saying is, like, I am impressed with this. Obviously, it's not the best thing ever, but it's cool. And you can see that they've got these new systems, and you can see that the devs are absolutely gagging to work with this to give us more of this style of content, which I think is really, really cool. And I guess this just kind of sums up Overwatch 2, doesn't it, at the moment? Like, the game itself, I'm totally addicted to playing it. I've been ill for a week, so I haven't really been able to play, but I'm starting to get back into feeling okay, so I've been jumping into the game and playing a ton. I know a lot of you guys are playing the game a ton. It's almost like, if you just ignore all of, like, monetization crap around it, the game itself is pretty fun. And that's obviously what the devs work on, right? And yeah, I think they've done a good job here. I think this is actually really good. I'm impressed with this. Do I think it's better than the old Junkenstein's Revenge? I think it's a different game mode. It's obviously technically better. But if you just want a straight up shooting gallery experience, old Junkenstein's probably a little bit better. But this is really cool. I think just for a good bit of fun for, I don't know, how long is this? I think this took like 13, 14 minutes. I think it's fine. And then obviously you can start playing through the harder difficulties. And I think I will. That's what I'm going to be doing tonight. So, yeah, there you go, guys. I don't know what this play of the game's about, but that's been my review of the new PvE event, and I think it's pretty cool. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. See you soon.